Peace. A and B African Man Born. A random rant of the day, episode 5. Alright. So, real quick while I'm driving. So, I want y'all to actually think. Alright. I did a couple of videos where I was talking about hip hop. I talked about the music industry. Now I want to talk about we need to have more solutions to our problems. And one of the things that I see is black people have given up on black people because we're so used to losing that we don't know if we've won little achievements, that we don't take from those little achievements. We're so used to being the ones doing the dirt to each other that that's all we acknowledge. People hate talking about the 50 years of hip hop, which I don't like talking about it, but I don't hate talking about these celebrations because we talk about not having schools and not having hospitals and not having. It's going to take more than a culture that we created in the 70s. You know what I'm saying? To create schools and all that other stuff. I was like, if you haven't noticed, right, as a people, we have been enslaved mentally for hundreds of years. You know what I'm saying? So to even have a problem with people that have been victimized by mental friggin' sodomy is crazy to me. You're still in the slave mind. You still think that black people have the problem. We don't have the problem. We are the victims of the problem. Yes, we have an issue. We have issues that extend beyond repair for some of us. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of our success and a lot of our freedom is going to come with the youth, the ones that are younger than us, and even the ones that's going to be younger than them. If you already have children, they're not going to be the ones, going to be the ones after them. We have to be the ones to give the seeds to them to do what we were supposed to do, what we should be working to do. It's all a cycle. We need to have solutions. You're not going to have solutions by complaining about what we're doing now, which ain't shit. We ain't doing nothing to help ourselves now. All we do is talk about things that don't mean anything. We yell about things that were presented to us. The violence in our community was presented to us and we took it on. You know what I'm saying? And we don't have a community, first of all. We've been placed in an areas of the United States, areas of Europe, and areas of the world, and we were told to stomp on each other's feet. You know, you step on each other's neck to get to where we got to go. And a lot of times we work with the enemy to do so. A lot of us work with the enemy just to survive because we were assimilated into a system that puts us at the lowest of the totem pole. Well, guess what? That system is falling, and a lot of us are falling with it, which is why a lot of y'all are scared of what's due to happen, because you still look at yourselves in the devil's mind. You still look at yourself in the agent's mind. You still look at yourself in the criminal mind. When you have to be looking at yourself outside of it, and what can you do to start from here to move forward with your family, with your people, to connect. I give information all the time. People don't use it because they want to do their own thing. And I never knock what they do. I never knock what they do because that's what they want to do. You have to want group economics. You have to want that. That's not something that you just do. You have to want to be in a circle full of your own people, building on success. You have to want to be spiritually in tune with your brothers and sisters. You have to want to come together to build nations. You have to want to build, you know what I'm saying, all the things that we desire to do, but we don't do. I didn't say we can't do, don't do. If you want an artist from your city to come out, you can do that, but you got to come together and support and be and build that artist up, especially if you know that they got it. Whether it's R&B, rap, reggae, whatever it is, country, whatever the hell it is that the artist does. If you believe in their music, you should be supporting their move in your city so they can go out the city and gain attention to build more success for the artists in the city. It's called group economics, group thinking, collective success, right? So let's go to business. We should be coming together as business and do small things to get things going, have meetings and actually get progress going, not complain about what we don't do or what we should do. No, come together and build a plan and do it. This is solutions. We talk about problems all the time, but then it goes on TikTok, it goes on Instagram, it goes on Facebook, and then everybody presses a bunch of likes. Oh yeah, he's right. Fuck that. I'm tired of being right about the wrong shit. Honestly. I talk about it a lot, but I don't like being right about fucking the killers in our hood. I don't like being right about the disrespect to our women. I don't like being right about the disrespect to our men. I don't like being right about the disrespect to our parents. I don't like being right about the fact that we don't come together to economically build a foundation and nations. I don't like the fact that I'm right about the dissension within different tribes and different organizations because of ego. I don't like being right about shit like that. Y'all like being right about that because it makes you look like you're conscious. Well, that's the wrong type of consciousness to me. We shouldn't be having to talk about this shit 20, 30, 40 years later. You know what I'm saying? We shouldn't have to be talking about this shit to the grandchildren. Because we have to talk about it that is going on in that time. We haven't learned our lesson, and there's a lot of lessons that we haven't learned. A lot. If our fucking elders talked about it when we were children and teenagers, then we failed to raise that generation to do better. We, see I said we? I'm not talking about me. Shit, if my kids are successful, right, and the rest of the people around them are not, we failed as a tribal people, as a race. White people have group economics. There's a lot of disenfranchised whites, by the way. But there's a lot of whites that are well off. Don't even know what that type of struggle is. Their struggles are different. Their struggles are different. It's different shit, but they're financially straight because they put their ancestors put together shit. Whether it was positive or negative. We have to think on terms of our positive network to come together. We don't listen to each other. We don't respect each other. Okay, so we got to drop egos. That's the solution. Well, how do you drop egos? Easier said than done. It's not. The problem is that we are too emotionally connected to what we have a problem with instead of what we are desiring to do to fix it. Which means we love staying in problems. That's why everybody talks about it. How many podcasts you have of relationships? We're so in a time of miscommunication, disrespect, dissension, that we have to have podcasts to talk about relationships. You got guys coming up here talking about how men and women coming up here talking about how women and then there's women talking about women, and not to say that these people aren't right for doing what they do. They have their passion, they have what they want to do and talk about. But why do we have to have a podcast about something that is sacred? Relationships are supposed to be sacred, but the problem is we don't like for the life of me, right? We don't get it. We have to grow. Now you need podcasts to just learn simple shit like respect. Because you have men, right, that are not there with their children, teaching what it is to be a man. You have women that are there with their children, not teaching what it is to be a woman. They're both equally as wrong. Some of y'all are going to come up here and say, well, it's more critical for men. No, it's not. It's more critical for actually women. And I stand by that 100%. It's more critical for women to be in tune with nature and in tune with the right things to do, the balanced things to do, because women are the foundation. They create and birth life. And I'm not taking away from the man. The man is there to protect his woman. You should already be in your womanhood without a man. I don't want to hear this shit about a man. As soon as a man steps up and be a man, that then his woman will step up. That's bullshit. You should already step into your womanhood because you're an adult at the end of the day. And if you happen to be a woman, step into your womanhood the best way suited. And I say that because some of y'all are single. Some of y'all are in relationships. So I can't expect y'all to do the same things. I don't expect a single mother to raise children the same way a woman that has a man there that is being a father there. It's different. I know what I'm saying? And I would never put that and label anybody with my standards. I don't even hold my wife to my standards. My standards, right, is for myself. Those are my standards for myself and what I do. You need to hold your standards to yourself and what you do. And what you do is look at the red flags on what goes against your standards and address those things to the person. And if the person doesn't fix it, listen, or anything, then you have to do with your standards and be like, I'm going to stay or leave based on what's not being facilitated around me. You can't force anybody to do what you want them to do. That's a grown person. See? Egos. We got to take away the ego out of it. Do we all have our shit? Absolutely. But can we coexist? Absolutely. Because we're here. You don't need to put people down to succeed. You don't need to address every time that we are beyond repair, because we're not beyond repair. There's individuals that are beyond repair. And those are the ones that we pay attention to, instead of actually the people that are, listen, we have children that are passing SATs at under the age of 12. We have children that are so advanced in education that they're going to college and graduating before 14 years old. We have children taking IQ tests and excelling, and we don't talk about them because we talk about bullshit all the time. Now, I address a lot of bullshit, but I also address the solution. When I'm talking about bullshit, I always address the solution, because that is the main thing. When you address an issue, you have to have the opposite factor. This world is built on opposites. Opposites attract. Relationships are built on opposites. You know what I'm saying? Energy, frequency, protons, electrons, neutrons. All of these things are opposite to each other, and they exist because of balance. And for some reason, black people are the most unbalanced. You know why? Because of the mental slavery that we've been in for over 500 years. We have to break that curse. It's going to take us just as long. So that's why I say our complete success of our nation building is not going to happen with us. And as much as that sounds hurtful, just like I was talking to a young brother that works in the Central Body Herbs in Mattapan Square, or not Square, but Mattapan. He said he wants to step into his powers that we had as ancients. I said, we're not going to step into those powers. It's going to be our youth and the youth beyond them that are going to become more powerful than we are. We have to give them the seed to that success. You know what I'm saying? We have to give them the seed to the success to reach those goals the way you wanted to reach them. But your job is to raise your children with that intention of elevating themselves, and then they'll do the same, and then they'll do the same. And in time, if they stay on the same ancestral track of elevation and progression, they will reach the powers that you were seeking to do. But your ego will tell you, oh, I just want to reach those powers. For what? What do you want to see? Spider-Man? Superman? Black Panther? What do you want to be? Miss Marvel? Mr. Marvel? What do you want to do? Because, listen, we are not worthy of that shit. A lot of us have been through too much. A lot of us do too much against our own to be worthy of having any type of superpowers that you claim that you want. A lot of us, so you're not really ready for that. You just want it because you know that it exists within our people. But you're not ready for that. Let's be honest, you're not ready for that. That's for your children and your children's children. That's for your children and your children's children. So we have to be more solution-based instead of problem-based. And you have to look at things like that. When you see something that goes on against our people and with our people, you got to learn how to address the issue and then build a solution and be part of the solution. Be the living example of solution. And that takes work. Drop the egos. So that's my random rant of the day. Check this video out. You can see it on YouTube, Facebook. You'll see promotions on Instagram and TikTok. Check it out. I do them randomly, just like I do the lives. Also, the Truth News coming soon. That's me. I'm a news reporter. I'll be the news reporter, giving you actual news that the media don't want to talk about. Might get me shut down, but I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? And then also, The Culture Speaks. All right, The Culture Speaks is a podcast where I give you hip-hop culture and tie it into all culture, because it's all one. All right? Peace.